on the Ron and Fez show on a Thursday. This is the fastest hour in radio. It's the way we start things off. Britney Spears, the photograph of her going around is her leaving a liquor store and downing one of those little bottles that may have been liquor right there on the street while looking like a complete mess.
Yeah, now they're saying it wasn't liquor at all, Fezzy. That was just the New York Post take on it. They're saying it was a little thing of ginseng.
Oh, to give her a pick-me-up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, she needs it because this girl has not been seen looking dressed any better than Michael Moore in weeks.
I think she's pregnant. That's the deal.
See, I still think that the knee injury is fake.
I don't know what to say to you.
See, I think she would still be on tour if she hadn't faked the knee injury. She can't say she's pregnant, and that's why she's not on tour. So she's going to say she's got a knee injury.
All right, do you at least want to take it back for her drinking liquor? She's walking down the street looking like a sloppy mess.
Sloppy mess I will not take back whatsoever.
Yeah, but if a woman is pregnant, they got to wear more loose clothing. She can't sit around looking like a little baby doll right now. Why can't you just love her and wish her well as she starts adulthood out of the public eye? I mean, people are following her down the street. She doesn't have an album out. She doesn't have a movie out. Why keep paying attention to the kid?
With this Federline that she's marrying, I think she's actually making the right choice here with the 55-hour husband who sold his story to Star Magazine and is just vicious getting back at her.
Well, he's got to get something out of this deal. He's looking around. She's married to somebody else. That guy's getting the big money. And this kid's back at Walmart down in Louisiana.
The Louisiana kid said when everyone was screaming at them, someone yelled annulment, and he just said yes because he didn't know what annulment meant.
Yeah, he was a bright one. He was a smart one.
She missed that catch. Execs at the WB say they regret that their new fall lineup, with the exception of Steve Harvey's show, turned out so white. However, they will develop more diverse series instead of just going ahead and adding minority characters to existing shows.
Fez, no one's going to watch them no matter what they have. It's the WB. I don't care what they're going to have Tuesday Night Football, and nobody would put on the WB.
I always like it when something like this supposedly happens by accident. Ooh, you know what? We put together that whole lineup, and we forgot everything is Smallville, and we don't have any black shows on whatsoever. We never noticed.
No, you don't think that they just go out to pick the best shows that come up in that crop, and maybe they're just trying to pick the best shows, and this year the black pilots didn't go over as well as some of the other ones?
No, I don't think it's that simple. I think there's a formula to this thing, and they chose to ignore it.
What's the formula?
Where there's like a diversity formula, where it's like, do we have something for everybody on this network?
But no other networks do that. ABC's never done it. NBC, CBS.
Well, at least, they come up with the George Lopez's and the Damon Wayans. And
do you realize that the WB's had more minorities on there than probably the entire run of the big channels?
That's what makes it so extra suspicious that this would happen and they'd end up so lily white.
You're on a rampage tonight, Fezzy. You're going to end up in a tinfoil hat somewhere. You're seeing conspiracy and everything.
I'm going to end up dropping my pants at the airport.
Reggie was drinking whiskey.
Newlyweds Nick and Jessica say they want to start a family in the not-too-distant future. They told Us Magazine that they'll have their own, or they may adopt a Mexican teenager.
They do not want children. They want to get a little spice into their TV show.
I love the fact that it's one or the other.
Yeah.
We'd like a little baby of our own, or maybe a 19-year-old Mexican girl.
What we want is a Mexican, but not as long as we would want for our own child. A Mexican, let's make 17 so we can move out in a year.
If these two are talking children, the government really should step in at this point.
Her mother put out this quote this week. I think it was in Vanity Fair, that Jessica Simpson's IQ was tested, and it came in at 160.
160?
160. She's a genius. So maybe they've been playing us this whole time, or maybe she's off by a 0. I don't know. But she claims that that's a 160 IQ. that kid has.
That's always great when you're just portrayed as so dumb, perceived as so stupid that your mother has to start bringing out your old report cards and test scores.
Yeah, but if your test scores happen to be the same as Albert Einstein's, I'm very, very curious to see you take a test. Either your mom has to give money to a charity, or you got to back up this boast that she's throwing around.
Oh, that's the reality show I would just love to see.
You know what I like to see? I like to see her against the president, and they're just in some kind of a Jeopardy game against each other, going back and forth.
Any of those great IQ questions where it's like there's 4 different circles and you have to tell which 2 are exactly alike?
You know what? I actually did this. I would just write down, you'd have to be an idiot to sit around and worry about this. Why would I care? Why would I care?
Ronnie, you never know when the patterns of different circles are going to come up in your life, and you're going to need that information.
If only once. You know what I'm saying? If only that was a problem you'd had to deal with in life.
It may actually come up on the Mexican adoption papers, so she's got to be ready to fill out these forms.
And this year, it even gets crazier as Pablo joins the family.
Hola.
That's the Newlyweds on MTV every half hour this fall.
¿Cómo está? Parenting Magazine and AOL for Broadband asked which celebrity you would want to babysit your kids, and Kelly Ripa was the #1 choice.
Yeah, Kelly Ripa really seems like somebody I feel safe with. She's got 3 kids dangling off her now she doesn't pay attention to.
She would forget the kids in the tub to go off and do another show.
Yeah.
Another sitcom or talk show or something.
And now her husband has a show on. He's on one of the very many, I believe, CSIs or something where he's trying to find stuff. And they showed a clip on the show. And it looks so stupid. And she's like, this is the best show ever.
It's just insane because there's actors on soap operas, because that's how bad they act on soap operas. And these 2 are getting moved into prime time.
Well, I've never seen her TV show. Have you seen it yet?
I've never seen Hope and Faith.
Yeah.
Even though Faith is playing Hope on that one.
Yeah, it's a little too confusing for me, too.
So the Kelly Ripa was followed by Reese Witherspoon, Jada Pinkett Smith, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Madonna.
I wouldn't leave a kid with one of those people.
Jada Pinkett Smith I haven't even heard of in years.
I would leave, she's married to Big Willie.
Right.
And, so they got a bunch of kids, and he's got a movie coming out. And she was in the Matrix films. But the thing about, I would leave my kid with Stalker Patty before I said to myself, hey, I'm going to leave it with Kelly Ripa.
Actually, they did have the other poll of the bad celebrity babysitters.
Oh, good.
People you wouldn't leave your kids with.
Good.
Coming in at 5th at 2% was Paula Poundstone. Number 4 with 4% was a combination of Pee Wee Herman and Ed Rooney. Tommy Lee came in 3rd with 9%.
I'd say as long as it's not summer, you're safe with Tommy Lee.
And then, oddly enough, in a real dogfight for 1 and 2, Michael Jackson comes in with 42%, Courtney Love with 43% at #1. They said Michael would have gotten the #1 spot, but you can at least get a settlement out of him babysitting.
Yeah, nobody knows what happened to Courtney's money. All right, we're going to take a break here, Fezzi. It's fastest hour in radio, the Ron and Fez Show.